Hello and welcome to Design Resilience. I'm Rachel, and today we're going to talk about one of the 5 pillars of Design Resilience: community. So in the Design Resilience methodology, community is really about having a few key relationships where you know that person well, they know you well, and you can be vulnerable with each other. These aren't acquaintances, these aren't the bigger definition of community where you are maybe presenting a persona where you're not being your authentic self. Community, when it relates to design resilience, is really around having a few critical relationships that can support you and know you and celebrate your growth and support you through hardships. And so I had a wonderful experience last week. I got to go on my very first Virgin voyage. I'm an active cruiser. I love to cruise. I think I've been on at least high teens, low 20s number of cruises. And so when my friends decided that they wanted to take a trip out of Miami to the Dominican Republic and the Bahamas, I jumped at the chance. I was excited to spend 5 days with my friends. It's 2 women, one that I know professionally, and then she introduced me to the other woman that traveled with us. And I got to see the actual community work. So we all came from different places. I'm coming from East Texas. My friend was coming from North Texas. Our third friend was coming from Denver. We flew into Miami, which was a port I had never sailed out of before. So it was a brand new experience. And we arrived the day before, and it turned out that we had some medical issues that we needed to address. And so we were resourceful. We found an urgent care. We got the medicine that one of us needed, and we were ready to sail on the ship. Spending that much time with anyone, especially when you are all rooming in the same rooms, Virgin Voyages accommodates multiple arrangements of cruisers. And so we were able to stay in the same cabin. And being able to explore new places together and do new activities and dress up for fun events and just have that kind of time, especially shared meal times, where we really had a chance to talk about our lives and discuss what was going on currently and what had kind of molded us into the people that we were. We spent 5 days building community. And it was beautiful. It was wonderful. It was light at some times and intense at some times. It was emotional and not emotional. It was a really great way to strengthen our bonds as friends and to get to know each other. I will say that travel is probably the number one test of any relationship. You really get to see who someone else is when you travel with them. So pro tip for anybody in any kind of relationship, if you want to see if you can take it to the next level, whether it's friends, colleagues, a romantic relationship, travel will definitely let you know who they are. But the interesting piece on top of traveling was when we got back to Miami was flooding. The storms were stopping so much travel out of the city that we ended up getting stuck and having to stay in Miami at least one more night than we expected. My friend from Denver got to fly out late that night, so she was there a whole extra day, which she didn't expect to be. I was able to fly out on Thursday, and then my other friend was able to fly out on Friday. And that was a real test of community. But because of the foundation we'd built, the time that we'd invested in each other, and the time we'd taken away from each other, even though we were there for 5 days, different times, one of us needed a nap, or one of us wanted to just go walk, or one of us wanted to attend an event that the other ones weren't interested in. And being able to flex in and out of that proximity with each other allowed us the space that we needed to just be ourselves and recenter before coming back and being able to be fully present for each other. We helped each other talk through and think through problems and opportunities, and we dealt with some very real, direct challenges when we got those travel delays as we got back from the cruise. So overall, the lessons I take away for design resilience in the area of community based on my recent girls trip on a Virgin voyage are community and relationships that you want to be invested in and vulnerable in take time. You have to listen, and you have to learn about the other person, and you have to share and be open and vulnerable about who you are. Doing so in a way that gives you space to be in and then step back. whether that's having your own separate cabins or just agreeing that it's okay that you don't do every single thing together, can make that space. And building those relationships and having that kind of connection with another person can allow you to face difficulties head on, to understand when that other person is reaching their stress limit and they just need a minute to breathe, that they can't go into action planning mode and maybe you can, and how you can ebb and flow with each other to handle the things together. So one of you on one day may be the planner and getting everybody going out the door. The next day, someone else may take the lead. Someone may be deciding where we're going for dinner, and another person may be making show reservations. So leaning in and understanding who you're with, who's in your community, allowing them to open up to you and opening up to them makes such a difference when you're going through trials together. And travel is one of the best ways to get to know people. So I hope if you have any summer vacations planned, that you'll use that as an opportunity to deepen your relationships with community, or even if you're just staying at home this summer, spend time and think about ways to make better connections, to listen better to the people in your life, and to be vulnerable with them, to see if they can be the ones who make your community, because not everybody can, but you're lucky if you find some who do. And I certainly did this last week on my Virgin voyage. Thanks. I'll see you next week.